Take one. Greetings, Jerry Ultimate Power Gamer, coming at you with this 3rd edition battle report, 2250, Pit Master Greg. Today, we haven't done a battle report in a while, but today we're going to be doing the Fool's Gold scenario. Thoughts?
Well, I'm excited to get going here.
Yeah.
Going forward with my Abyssal Dwarf army for the beginning of 3rd here.
Yeah.
Trying a few new units out. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, well, I'm actually going to be using my Empire of Dusk, and it's a list sort of like what I would have played in 2nd edition. It's got a lot of shooting in it because I want to see how the new shooting rules are going to actually affect gameplay. Now, we're doing this battle report now. Later on our podcast, we're actually going to be doing, on one of our podcasts, we're going to be doing a review of 3rd edition and these two armies just to kind of say, you know, our thoughts on it. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and show you the table and the armies. Okay, so this is going to be the table we're doing. Here in the lower left-hand corner, we've got a height 6 woods. Right over there on that side of the table is a piece of height 6 blocking terrain. There we've got a flat piece of difficult terrain encased with 2 obstacles. Here is a height 2 hill. Right here, this is a river. We're calling it difficult terrain flat. This section here, from here to there, is going to represent the ford in the river, so it's going to be plain open terrain. This is another height 6 woods. This is another height 6 building. This is another height 2 hill. All right, so let's go over your army. What do you got going over here starting?
I have a horde of lesser obsidian golems.
Okay.
Behind them, I have a troop of gargoyles.
Okay.
A regiment of Iron Guard. Is that it? Iron Guard?
The fearless ones.
Immortal Guard.
Immortal Guard. Okay.
So 2 regiments of Immortal Guard.
Okay.
I have 2 Iron Casters. They both swapped out their fireballs for the free surge, and they also have 3 heal for Hellforged.
Okay.
Only which would be these 4 are Hellforged.
Okay.
Another horde of lesser obsidian golems. Another troop of gargoyles.
Okay.
3 of the Inkor heavy mortars.
Okay.
A regiment of slave orc gore riders.
Okay.
And then back behind the building, I have the individual Abyssal half-breed champion. Here we have a regiment of Abyssal half-breeds. They have the caterpillar, and behind them I have a horde of Abyssal grotesques. They have Sir Jesse's boots of striding.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
That's it.
All right, so before we go over my army, I want to show you real quick on the table. So when you do the Fool's Gold, we actually end up with 10 objective markers. Some of them, each of us have 2 objective markers worth 0, 2 objective markers worth 1, and then we each have 1 objective marker worth 2. Now we place these on our opponent's half of the table, and we don't know what they are. Starting at the end of turn 3, we flip them over, and then we see what the objective markers are. So here, Greg placed that one. I placed this one. Greg placed one, which is under this unit. I placed that one. I placed that one. We've got one right here, one here, one here, one there, and one right there. So let's go over my army. Okay, starting right here, I've got my old standby favorite. I've got 2 enslaved guardian archer hordes. Behind them, I have a cursed high priest that has heal and surge 8. Next to them is an enslaved guardian unit. Behind them is a regiment of scavengers. Right here is a horde of revenants. They've got the fire oil upgrade. Next to them are 2 regiments of mummies. Behind them is the pharaoh, and he's got the upgrade that gives the mummies elite and melee. Right here is a regiment of skeleton archer cav, and they've got the brew of strength. Next to them is the revenant king on great undead worm. He's got the mournful blade, and right here to the side is going to be my other regiment of scavengers. So give us a second. We're going to roll off to see who goes first. Okay, so the Empire of Dusk did opt to go first. First, I have to make a correction. I found out, these are new rules, the Morning Blade can only be given to an individual, so My king on Great Undead Worm actually has the Iron Resolve item instead. All right, so he did an at the double move up and pivoted to look this way. I've got the building protecting me, so neither of these two units, they're both on my flank, so neither of them can charge me. That unit of scavengers stayed where it was. Here, the skeleton archer cab just made a normal move to come up. All these just came up speed 5. And back there just did a halt. So we'll be right back after the shooting phase. Okay, so here we are, the end of my shooting phase. I did a total of 6 wounds to this horde of golems. Rolled an 8, didn't do anything, they're fine. Over here, I did 4 wounds from the skeleton archer cab onto those slave orcs. I did 4 wounds, but rolled an 11. He has no inspiring, so they would be gone. Be right back after the Abyssal Dwarf turn 1 move. Okay, so here we are at the end of the Abyssal Dwarf turn 1 movement. Basically, all these moved up 5, keeping that battle line tight. Of course, all 3 cannons did a halt. Over here, as a surprise move, both the grotesques and the half-breeds moved backwards. The half-breed character just kind of moved and pivoted over there to be in position. We'll be right back after the shooting phase. Okay, at the end of the shooting phase, both of the iron casters healed, and they were able to heal 2 off of that golem regiment, or excuse me, horde. All 3 of the cannons there bombarded my poor little guardian archers here and did a total of 10. With the shattering rule, I was afraid, but he only rolled a 15, so I survived. We'll be right back after Empire Dust turn 2. Okay, here we are at the end of the Empire Dust turn 2. So basically what happened, both of those enslaved guardian archers did a halt. The cursed high priest moved into position there, and he did a heal. He was able to heal 2 points of damage off of that wounded thing. These guys both did a halt. All this unit here moved up, and the pharaoh moved over to be in inspiring range there. Here we just moved a little closer to the building and pivoted to make sure we kept the half-breeds in the flank so they couldn't charge me. Over here, those scavengers just came up to be out of charge range and position. Here, the skeleton archers, Cav, shot, did 4 wounds here, didn't break them, did nothing. The nice thing was, over here, the enslaved guardian archer hordes, both of them doubled up, shot here, got them up to 10, and rolled a 12 and then a 9, so I routed that horde. That's it for my turn 2. We'll be right back after the Abyssal Dwarfs turn 2. Okay, so here we are at the end of the Abyssal Dwarfs turn 2. Real quick, I forgot to say, this scavenger regiment here did an at the double to come up and block line of sight on those mortars there so they couldn't shoot at my enslaved guardian archers here again. So what happened here, this gargoyle unit moved up at the double to position here. This golem unit moved up in position there. Those guys basically just stayed behind the hill. That gargoyle unit did a sidestep over to get out of line of sight. All 3 of those mortars halted, got 4 hits here, did 11 total wounds, was shattered, put it at a 12, but woo, he didn't roll a 12. Over here, the half-breed champion just moved into position to threaten and maybe set up for me to do something. The grotesque there in the back did a pivot and moved to be able to get ready to support over here. And the abyssal half-breeds there regened back 1 wound and came forward a little bit. So that's the end of turn 2. We'll be right back after turn 3. We're almost at the point to show what those tokens are. Okay, here we are at the end of the Empire of Dust turn 3. Basically, Guardian Archers did a halt command. Both of them shot. We were able to put 6 wounds on the golems over there, but couldn't break them. Here, Cursed High Priest just moved over and did a heal over here. Was able to heal 2 off of the Revenant Horde that moved forward. These Guardians just pivot, so I'd make sure he wasn't in my flank. The gargoyles over there weren't in their flank. Over here, the Scavenger Regiment was able to take out one of the mortars and then just did a sidestep over for 1 inch. Here the mummies did a halt. The Pharaoh just moved up into position there. Over here, the Revenant King on Great Worm charged into the half-breed champion, did 5 wounds, but wasn't able to break him, so he stayed engaged. Over here, the Skeleton Archer Cav charged in, did 3 wounds. No, yeah, 3, did 3 wounds, putting them up to a 6 and was able to waver them. This regiment here just kind of did a sidestep. So that's my turn 3. We'll be right back after the Abyssal Dwarf turn 3. All right, here we are at the end of the Abyssal Dwarf turn 3. This troop of gargoyles did an at the double and pivoted to be threatening my flank here. We flipped over. This is a 0 here. No, this is...
That's mine.
Yeah, this is... the golems here moved up. This is a 2 when we flipped it over. He was able to heal 2 points of damage to put them at a 4. Those gargoyles just backed back and pivoted to threaten. These guys halted because they were trying to hold that token, which is actually a 0, so no good. Here we flipped over. It's a 1. Right there, it's a 1. The lone mortar took a shot and was able to do 3 wounds to me here, put me at a 12. Didn't break me, so I'm cool here. Over here, Mr. Half-Breed Champion did 4 wounds to me here, but didn't do anything, so we stayed engaged. And those guys are still where they are. This is a 1 token here. This is a 0 token there, 0 token there. And that's a 2. So that's the end of turn 3. We'll be right back after turn 4. Okay, here we are, the end of the Empire of Dust turn 4. Guardian Archers did a halt, wailed on those golems, did 11 points of damage and routed them, so they're gone. Here, Mr. Cursed High Priest just healed 1 point there. These guys stayed where they were. These guys moved up, staying there. These guys moved into position there. Over here, Great Winged Revenant King was able to rout the champion, and he went forward a total of 2. We'll move that in a second. Over here, the Skeleton Archer Cav charged back in. They did lots of damage and got them up to an 11 and routed them and only went forward 1 inch. So that basically is my... oh, and the Scavengers here didn't move at all. Oh, didn't mention that. The Scavengers there were able to do 1 wound. Oh, we didn't roll. We rolled for that.
You wavered me.
Yeah, wavered there. Okay, so that's the end of my turn 4. We'll be right back after the Abyssal Dwarf turn 4. Okay, so wow, we had a very awesome Abyssal Dwarf turn 4. Let's see. These guys charged into the flank here, routed, got me up to 9 wounds, rolled a 9 and boxcar, so these guys are gone. Oh, we didn't say what you were going to do there. What were you going to advance?
They're going to stay.
They're going to stay, so they're just right there. Okay. Here, the 1 mortar shot hit here, got them up to a 10, and route. So these guys are gone. Guardian Archers. Both Guardian Archers hordes are gone. Okay, over here, those guys just kind of stayed where they were. Both of these dwarf units turned to face this way. Let's see, what other nasty stuff? Oh, here we go. The Grotesque put on their boots of Strider
Sir Jesse's boots of striding.
Charged here and got me up to an 11 and routed me. So that basically, and they turned to face that way. So that's the end of the Abyssal Dwarf turn 4. We'll be right back after the Empire Dust turn 5. Okay, here we are, the end of the Empire Dust turn 5. This Guardian Horde just moved to this position, and the Cursed High Priest moved behind them. Cursed High Priest, these guys pivoted and moved to get in position to claim that token. Cursed High Priest healed them for 3. I finally remembered the special rule about skeletons and my Conjurer Staff, which I used the skeleton thing. I forgot I had those. Here, the mummies just moved up to there. The Scavengers there just moved in position to block both of those war machines. Here, this Scavenger Regiment came over. He's going to be grabbing that token there. This unit just back, pivoted, and took 3 shots at them, but didn't do anything. So that's the end of my turn 5. We'll be right back after the Abyssal Dwarf's turn 5.
I told you.
Okay, here we are, the end of the Abyssal Dwarf's turn 5. This troop of gargoyles moved up into position to take this 2 token. These 2 Abyssal Dwarf units pivoted to come over here to threaten for this 1. This troop of gargoyles did an at the double to move up and threaten for that token. The Grotesque, without their boots of striding, did a charge. It was a hindered charge. They did 12 wounds to the...
in the flank, too.
In the flank, so 12 wounds total, but rolled snake eyes, so awesome. Oh, but I am devastated if I decide to do something. I lose attacks, blah, blah, blah. So that basically is the end of the Abyssal Dwarf turn 5, and we'll be right back after the Empire Dust turn 6. Okay, here we are, the end of the Empire Dust turn 6. Well, this Guardian this Guardian unit did a pivot and was surged into the flank of the troop of gargoyles here, routed them, and turned back to face this way. This horde of Revenants moved up so that their leader point was in the flank of that dwarf unit, and then was surged into their flank, routed them. Over here, this scavenger unit just moved to sit up on the token. The one unit of mummies here took a flank charge, elite help from the Pharaoh, and I got them up to, what did I get you up to? 9? I did 6 wounds, right?
9.
So you're up to 9. I wavered, but didn't break. Actually, we have one more combat to do. I forgot about the scavengers, so I'll be right back after I do the scavengers. Okay, here we go. So now the scavenger regiment did one more wound to the mortar and routed it, and then back-to-back D3 to get within scoring position of that final token. So we'll be right back after turn 6 for the Abyssal Dwarves. Okay, well, turn 6 ended it. Nice thing. It ended up being for the Empire Dust 6-2. What do you think about these new 3rd edition rules so far?
Honestly, in this game, really none of the new rules hurt anything.
Well, yeah.
Shooting is still pretty good.
Can be, yeah. You know what? I had a lot of good shots with my Empire, with my enslaved guardians early on.
Because I did such a great job of utilizing the terrain.
Well, that's true. You did not.
Yeah, I did not do that. So I should have. It's a little. I don't play much. It's been a long time since I played. But next time I'm going to definitely. I took a lot of notes of what I did wrong, so I know everything that I've done wrong.
Well, your mortars were good. They were good. You basically hit at least one time every turn, and you hit at least 2 to 3 times some turns. So actually,
those aren't bad. They're not overpowered. They're pretty cool. I like the
having 2 shots is a real plus on that.
Right, having 2 shots, and I like the what is that rule? It's like the Shattered's pretty cool. It'd be cool if they could stack.
Well, the thing is, the rules things where I messed up is I forgot we have different heights here. So we had height 2 heals, not height 3 heals. So he was able to shoot over at some of my stuff before I could get close enough to engage. So didn't think about that. The other thing is for charging, forgot now for melee, if you're going to charge, you measure from anywhere along the base. So there were a couple instances where I thought I was out of charge distance, but no, it's measuring from anywhere on the base, not the leader point. So he was able to get some charges in. Other than that, I mean, this army, I mean, we'll do a breakdown about this and talk about armies and 3rd edition adjustments. I really like the skeleton archer cavalry. I like now that they bumped them melee 4. That actually is a good solid unit, I think, now. I know everybody is wanting to do revenants, and I may make a revenant unit or 2 to add to this. But yeah, this list basically played similar to 2nd edition, and I thought it was pretty decent. I mean, yours was similar to what you would do with what you did in 2nd edition last time.
I added the 2 regiments of the little guys. I keep forgetting what their names are.
Oh, the Black Souls or whatever were
the Immortal Guard.
The Immortal Guard.
2 regiments of that,
okay.
And then I took three of the heavy mortar, which I wasn't doing in the few games. I used to way back, like 2 or 3 years when I first started. But yes, I think I'm going to keep my list as it is. I think and learn how to
work on deployment. Right. We'll do another bat rip with this, I'm sure. Actually, I liked having the river in.
Yeah, the river was
just
nice.
for a different look on the table, and it kind of made a difference, but it didn't really, because you kind of avoided it, and there was no need for me to move out of it. And as you said, there was a lot of shooting stuff, things for shooting that didn't work out.
I really should have moved my obsidian golems into that river.
Yeah, to get the cover.
To get the cover for sure.
Yeah.
And it was sitting right there for me to do so. But,
Well, thanks for watching this. Questions, comments, going to love to hear them. We're going to be doing, as I said, a podcast, our 2nd podcast, because we've only done 1 so far. Been busy doing other things. So look forward to a podcast, and Till next time, see ya.